Live? Good. Let's. Okay. This is my last attempt at going live today. Couple technical errors. Hey, technical difficulties. Let's go. Alright. Technical difficulties. Let's go. Alright. Back online. Checked it. Looks good. Okay. So this week, to be honest, with trading performance that I had week. Right now, I'm just gonna run up to Monday. So Monday, to be fair, obviously when we're looking at the chart, this is all gonna be technical analysis. I will be having a look at the Trump tariffs. In fact, let me read something out to you now. So this is an email I got from a prop firm that I thought I would include. Give me a second. Just close my window for audio's sake. Should be better for you though. So 50% tariffs threat shakes EU markets. It never reads well. Alright, cool. Here we go. So on Friday, Donald Trump threatened 50% tariff on all EU imports starting June 1st, calling talks with Brussels and accusing the bloc of trade manipulation. The Post sent a clear message. European indices dropped like a stone. So obviously we trade GJ over here, but GJ will also move with the main US instruments, which will be like all my traders who will be trading indices will always be looking at the S&P, the price of gold, a few extras, but this isn't a trading lesson for nuggets. This is more about fundamentals and my trading performance. But we will all be looking at a few in particular instruments, along with a little one. So especially like my swing traders, who will be looking at price action and looking at correlations between two other instruments. The SMT traders will be doing that sort of stuff, like an extra confluence. Some people decide to do it, some people don't. I don't, so I don't really want to get into it too much. So it speaks about the European stocks dropping sharply, Italy dropping the lowest, UK doing their best to hold up. And that's according to the Financial Times. It does go on to read that the German 30 outperformed much of the continent, but still felt the blow. Some say Trump's threat is a pressure tactic to force the EU back to the table, and markets seem to agree. After the initial drop, major indices began to recover, pricing in the chance to get back, just like he did with China earlier this month. So in prior videos I mentioned, I think it was the last video I did, I mentioned that the China tariffs and people not being able to, for example, do movies the way they wanted to because they're trying to run to the EU for the 25% tax rebate and all that sort of stuff. And then, of course, Trump retracted it. People are saying that it's going to be the same with regards to this prop article is saying that it's going to be the same with regards to the EU market. To be honest, because we're algorithmic traders, we're still going to hit or execute our algorithmic entries. However, with regards to the fundamentals, because we're day traders, we're going to make sure that our execution is at the right time. So that's where the time element will come into it with your fundamentals. If you are developing a playbook or you're trying to figure out a system or what have you, once you figure out what your candles are, like with regards to how you enter the market, what technicals you read, you're then going to go on to think about how the news announcements are going to be taking you out, or the news announcements are going to be accelerating price towards your TP. That's just what I found with myself and students is the natural linear thinking or mindset when you are trying to develop a playbook. So in the fundamentals, or as far as the fundamentals are concerned, that's going to be with your timing. Sometimes you might see price come down and say, all right, army here. So maybe you enter offer armies. You might say, because there's an announcement, red folder news, you're not going to take the first Harami, you're going to take the second. The second Harami would be here. You'd see that you would obviously entered and you would have been into profit the rest of the day. I don't enter offer armies. That was just a lucky guess, if you like. From a GJ perspective, GJ doesn't move offer armies as well. So if you don't trade GJ, I'm not saying the Harami entry is bad, but for GJ, it's not the most highest probable candle formation to enter off of. And even from what I'm saying now, I think that you should be able to understand that it's about your identification of how to get in when you're developing your playbook, and then the probability of that pattern that you're reading. Hence why people who teach to trade bounces and W's and stuff like that will always say, when you're reading the tape and you're trying to figure out how to execute, whatever you see first is what you should go with. Because naturally everyone's eyes will see different patterns easier than others. And we just want to make that money. So what we're going to do is figure out how to make the money and make the money. I'm not trying to be perfect in any type of way. We're not trying to have any ego or what have you. We just want to make money. So yeah, that is it. With regards to Monday, after entry, boom, again, 5 bit. Adjusted. To be honest, this isn't a typical Monday trade, so I call this out in the Telegram. Why? So I'm not just chatting. I only take the Monday trade if price is not in an extreme. This is internal liquidity. This is the top of Asia, lower Asia. So I don't have much in. I ever call out the Monday trade, and because I don't have the and you can see it didn't really play out too well. Entry, where is it? Yep, entry, boom. Is up how many pips? 12.5 before turning around and taking out our stop loss. Don't know what this was for. But yeah, hence why. So people who are actually in the Telegram, yeah, this is what I'm saving you from. If you ever feel like I'm maybe away from my phone, I forgot to call it. No, it's just not righteous. It's not. I'm not call out the team. I'm actually doing my refurbishments, sorting out what equipment I need and stuff like that, and I'm gonna be giving you that content. I see some traders are starting to go live too now as well. That's good. Well done. Let's all do it together. Cool. Tuesday London session. So we're getting in. Price shoots down 14, 15 pips, 14.7, 14.1 before retracing back up, taking out our dynamic stop loss, and we're out again. A very annoying day. I mean, if you are a trader taking my signals and you maybe every time I instruct you guys to decrease the stop loss, maybe you don't because you can't be bothered. Because the dynamic stop loss was actually just implemented, for those who don't know, for the traders who are more defensive and want to take some off the table, if you like. So that's where the dynamic stop loss has been put in place. If you didn't, you would be the ones making that shmoney. Of course, because I'm managing money, I do take the dynamic or use the dynamic stop loss approach. I got taken out of that one as well. I had annoying. And then for the New York session, let's have a look. I'm using one execution per session. So that is it. I think it's annoying. A new trader, they'll think, oh my goodness, I need to get back in again. But to be honest, sometimes you can just let it go. Like, price typically isn't going to dip. Price typically isn't always gonna if you do expect it, like for example, during these tariff times, some traders might decide, all right, I'm gonna make sure I have 2 executions per session instead of 1. Then yeah, you'll just wait on it. Yeah, open up again. Oh. So after we here, another gap, we see another gap, wait for an entry, we get in. We would have been in profit and we would have won. But because I'm a hustler, I do juggle more things. I've developed my winning strategy, playbook, what have you, off of 1 entry per session. In the beginning, when I was trading first couple of years, I did always try to make sure I was in profit every single day. But chasing price like that can do you nothing, and it's toxic. It builds a very bad relationship with trading. So when I stopped doing that, I realized what I was doing. My eyes were off the chart less, less pressure, definitely, and I have more time with my other endeavors. Do you know what I mean? Whether it be making food for the family, or like doing something with the family, or just another physical asset that I manage, like another business or what have you. Wednesday. Alright, cool. Let me have a look to see if there was any, what the fundamentals were like on Wednesday. I would be popping this up on the screen, but if you notice, I tried to do that and it was just crazy. I kept locking off my previous yeah, just kept looking off the live, so I just had to stop. Wednesday, okay. Wednesday at a 7 a.m. red folder CPI announcement. So hence looking at its price after 7 o'clock London time. So I'm watching chart, I'm watching price. I haven't even got any control. Not really expecting anything. I do not trust CPI at all. I don't encourage it. All this stuff is just, oh wait, this is New York session, totally different. Cool. So 12 o'clock here, boom. New York session's here. It's fine. There's no news, and later on in the day, let's have a look. Price still didn't really give it to me, did it? Cool. Wednesday, entry, boom, price rallies. They've got a pips for the day, they'll close it. Those who held on to it, like myself, for algorithmic for algorithmic sake, we turn around to test our entry. So we stopped before the price turns around and rise. An annoying week. It's just annoying. That's fine. During times of rubbish volatility, it is best to have two executions. So times like this is where my strategy would be, I would float between -1 and +1. So it's not broke or not making money, it's just making money every other day. Thursday, Southside Liquidity, London session. Have a look. 30 PMI announcement. Expected, or a bit expected. What is this? YLOD. Of course it is Southside Liquidity. I mean, if you count your threes, even if you count the levels and price, you should be able to figure out when price is going up. So if price moves down once, twice, and goes up a third time, we can expect a reversal. Smart money reversal, you can see that here. You can see a nice gap too. Price does dip into the gap. I can't see how you can't get this trade. Sorry, forgive me, I was pausing on it. If you're looking at this from a supply and demand, liquidity, ICT, FEG, SMT, yeah, you got to see this turnaround. Head and shoulders, M's and W's, yeah, come on. So we've got Asia here, price crashes down, and then you can see price trying to turn around. Even if you fall for this one, that's fine. Like for example, I actually, to be honest, but I can see the steps of price. Do you know what I mean? I've seen it a lot. Like Kimmel strategy, for example. I think it's 2 trading G's. I might violating, but I don't know. But inversion model, stuff like that. The inversion is waiting here, but yeah, we're waiting for engulfing candles. I'm sure you guys are up here, not as low. Regardless, yeah. So taking the execution up here, price rallies up, turns around because of spread, takes out the dynamic stop loss before shooting up. So, what I'd say is because of the way I trade, didn't Thursday New York session, can't tell you why. Let me have a look. Oh, okay. So we had 130 announcement unemployment claims, and we had 35. So it was coming towards the end of the New York session, and so I thought, yeah, price will most probably consolidate, and I don't really want to get what's left there. Did price really move? Yeah, price did rally. Turn around, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, price moved, and it did try to gap too. I mean, it's not the most beautiful as far as my what's it called? As far as my strategies, then I sort of got it down there anyway, and sharp, clean. I would put my money, like trader to trader, I put my money on this, but I wouldn't put my investors' money on it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, I can't remember what I was saying before, but we move on to the Friday. We look at the fundamentals for Friday. So I had a 7 o'clock announcement, London session, London time, of course, 7 a.m. I don't like to touch price usually, and something like, I mean, we punch this in. We just punch that in. Just let that drop. Even if you're shook of it because it's a big candle with the even if, I mean, for me, even if I don't like the size of the candle, I would just reduce my size. So if I've got a standard lot on a trade, I would just reduce that to 0.5. I'd still want to get into it. Mm-mm-mm. And we've got the dead New York retracement. Price crashed in London, so didn't really return to a zero. That's me with the abbreviated commas. For Friday reversal, New York reversal. Do see price crashing down. Oh, this is ugly. This is all within New York session. Yes, this drop. You're not going to see price really kind of again. Not for the same session. No way. Well, so I think to be not too not too great week with regards to running up P's on the charts. And again, it's just because of the way I like to trade. All my traders my seasoned ones who follow my strategy and know how I execute, most of 50% of you guys would be making money because you're not adjusting your stop as I am. Do you know what I mean? Your dynamic stop losses or what have you. You know GJ is going to move. You're not really too fussed, as opposed to my defensive investors that I trade with, for, of course, their heart's beating. So I trade a tad differently. But yeah, we're not doing too bad at all. Update, I did remove a student from the group because another student increasing their account by a triple, and then not practicing the best business after. You know I'm being political right now. Yeah, not the best businessman. And I think, to be honest, it's a wake-up call for the individual, because trading, you trade alone, you start to learn a lot about yourself. The individuals, of course, not obvious to you guys, but he does well listening to daddy, businessman to businessman. But because trading is all about yourself, and now he's learned, okay, cool, do I stand well alone when I'm trying to do something? Not really. Usually when students mess up, that's the make or break point, really. I've got some students who still owe me a couple of quid. I don't care. But because of their own flunders, they're not sure of how to speak about it or speak to me. Not really too fast. I mean, I teach this for free. But it's just a case of, yeah, businessman to businessman. I don't like if you're going to give it the big one and then not deliver. Because I deliver. I get the job done. Do you know what I mean? So you will come up short if you aren't that guy, but you are talking that sort of stuff. But luckily for me, I do say my pleases and thank yous. So I do have another client, so that is brilliant, or a new client I've taken on board, so that's brilliant. Do you know what I'm going to talk about? I'm going to say, for my viewers who don't have a lot of money right now, yeah, okay, cool. So for my viewers who, let's say I had a student that was trying to trade but couldn't because, and this happens a lot, this happens far more often than you realise. My younger traders will be like, huh? My older traders, you'll be quiet right now. When your significant other is watching your money and you can't trade, let me take a sip. And don't get twisted, in fact, this could be applied to people who don't have a lot of money trading, period. Get the instant funding prop firm because obviously the prop trading route, you're gonna be spending less than investing your own money. And from a treating trading as a business perspective, it's more cost effective, so therefore that's what you should be doing. Obviously you need the skill to match it, but also it's the psychology behind, babe, I didn't put down 150, I put down 50. That's a small fraction. Babe, don't bite my head off. Does that make sense? Because around the town, like walking around talking to people about trading, they talk to me about how they may have or they've got the trading trauma like every other Londoner does, and they talk about how once upon a time they did X, Y, and Z. Turns out, after I speak to them, like I WhatsApp them, I take their number, what have you, we speak, I learn, okay, cool, the reason why they can't put money into trading is because their wife is on their money, on their financials, and they couldn't do that. That would just be getting themselves into big trouble. Yeah, prop firm's much more cost-effective way to get into the game, and it's cheaper. Do you know what I mean? You've got Maven, super duper cheap. You don't have to go like an instant funding IO route. You can just go Maven. Like, do something like get a instant funded one. The reason why I say it as well is because you don't have the what are those obstacles called? Goodness gracious me. The steps, the evaluation, and the funded phase. So the reason why I say that is because most of you guys trying to trade actually don't have time to trade. So don't worry about the evaluation phase and what have you. Just get an instant funded one. When you purchase it, make a trade on a day, because it's most probably going to be 14 days after your first trade. And then trade. Aim to make the same amount you paid for the cost of the challenge. Get that back first. So then you can say, oh, babe or significant other, oh, money back. Look, wow. At that point, you'll be proving payout, like the payout is real, because you know your significant other isn't going to support your thing. They're going to think it's all mad. So the first thing you need to do is reassurance. Reassure that it actually pays, it's real. Oh my gosh, brilliant, alhamdulillah. Then you're going to be like, cool, I'm now going to make profit from it, because obviously you've made your initial cost amount back, and now you're going for profits. Do you know what I mean? It's very much more streamlined psychologically, as opposed to buying it. You may not hit your target. You may hit your target. Obviously, don't get it twisted. You may not make the money back, and you may have to buy another one. But psychologically, I mean, I've done this, yeah. My first trade I made was 8 years ago. Cool. You know, I've got children, yeah. Cool. I've been through it, yeah. Cool. Psychologically, spending, like, this is to your significant other, spending the young buff as opposed to the big one. For example, like, let's say if I wanted to start trading all over again from the beginning, but the most cost effective way, I would go to the 5%ers, get a 5k, 5,000, yeah, 5k account. I think it's called high stakes. $39, £30. Then I'll bang a standard lot on a trade, and I'd wait for it to hit. I'd pass it, boom. Then pass a second phase, boom. Boom, yeah. Hella aggressive in that, because it's a young 30, as opposed to £300 risking, because that's really aggressive. That's the equivalent of having £300 risking a standard lot per trade. Do you know what I mean? I even think from the prop firm thing, I've got 2.5 trades risking a standard lot as opposed to 3. But yeah, 2.5, because a broker's not going to let you risk all of it. Yeah, cool. So same thing. So doing a prop, to be honest, I just feel like it's best for the psychology. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, or you are interested, you want to know a bit more, holla at your boy. Dylan Kane Rose, Instagram. Students, we have spoken, so I don't really feel like I need to do anything in that regard. I've removed the student, good, get out of there. I do only concentrate my time on quality, so if you're not a quality student, I do politely remove you. Nothing personal, just business. I'm just having a look, I'm just scrolling through my chat, bear with me. Okay, when was that? Yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. Contact me on Instagram, it's my main platform of operation. I will be coming with daily content now. I'm gonna be focusing on growing a YouTube channel. Apparently that's what traders need to prove they're a real YouTuber these days. And so that's what I'll be doing now. Making the money. I am a bedroom trader. I make money like in my bedroom. I don't go out and do much. Trading is a part of my life. It isn't my life. So while I've been getting ready to travel and what have you, I've noticed the whole subscribers means you're a real trader type of thing. So I'm like, okay, cool. I guess I've got some work to do. So yeah, I'm going to be doing some renovations, getting my cameras, sorting out which live streaming software is best. And but the first thing I'm going to do, hence why I'm still doing it off this, I'm doing this off my iPad, guys, rate the thing. Consistency. So that's what I'm going to be hitting you guys with. I am an early bird. Those who watch my Insta, you see my early bird trades. So I should be touching the chart 6 a.m. London time. I may give you guys an Asia session, show you guys how much sleep I actually get. Yeah, and I will continue to show you guys how to really trade. This is the application of trading. No evergreen videos which are, this is the video 2025. Yeah, cut it out. I'm showing you guys live execution. I'm showing you guys losses, wins. If I'm not showing you the live execution, I will show the aftermath. I know that is bogus, but I cannot manage everything I'm doing and always commit to giving you guys the live trades. It is very, very difficult. I struggle to punch out the messages to my team, like my students, let alone get onto this application and go live. It's techie. Some days I will have a more free schedule and I can like prepare for it more. But other times, if I'm on the road, hitting the live and showing you guys a chart at the same time is hard. And I don't want to just be walking around and talking to you guys about trading and you can't see the chart. I am getting there, team. Don't you worry about it. Yeah, Medea. Thank you for your time.